As we said at the top, once Vivek and DeSantis dropped out, Republican voters have been gossiping about Trump's VP pick. I told my staff we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, but it's what everyone's talking about. So we're going to give the people what they want. Politicians are already being asked about it. Watch. Vivek, do you want to be vice president?
Well, look, I want to serve this country in whatever way I can, Jesse, but that's why I've been in this race since the first place.
Certainly, if the president asks, I would have to think about it because I want to help him however I can.
The only thing I want is 4 more years of Donald Trump and a Republican majority in the Senate, majority in the House, and the White House. And if I can help achieve that through my endorsement by being on the campaign trail in my home state of South Carolina for the next 4 or 5 weeks and then beyond, that's the goal.
I'm not getting into any conversations with President Trump, but I've said for over a year I'd be honored to serve in his administration in any capacity.
Look, I absolutely love the job I have. I think it's one of the best jobs I could ever ask for, and I am honored to serve as governor, and I hope I get to do it for the next 7 years.
So these are just some of the candidates whose names have popped up. Let's analyze. Vivek's a sharp populist with youth on his side. Also an interesting name for a bumper sticker, Trump Ramaswamy. You have Senator J.D. Vance in Ohio, ideologically attuned with Trump, youngish, showed he could win a state, smart, little drama. Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, got engaged this weekend. A VP with a wife is definitely better than a VP without one. Would Scott pull in more of the black vote? Not sure. Elise Stefanik, Republican congresswoman out of New York, kind of shifted from establishment to populist, blew up the Harvard president, and is obviously enjoying her audition. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Arkansas governor, and as you know, former press secretary. You know she can talk the talk. Other names we hear being bandied about: Kristi Noem, a telegenic South Dakota governor. Arizona Senate candidate Kari Lake, certainly charismatic. We're even hearing about Katie Britt, Alabama senator, who my producers tell me denied our invitation to join our show twice, which now makes me think she doesn't like me, which would make her a terrible VP choice. National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign, Karoline Leavitt, joins us now. Now, there's a secret name, Karoline, that I'm going to reveal later, which I'm being told is in the running. But where is the president when it comes to picking the VP?
Well, as the president said yesterday, he has about 25% towards one person. That's not a lot, Jesse, okay?
25%.
We are very much focused on winning the New Hampshire primary tomorrow and then focusing our attention to taking the fight to Joe Biden. Hopefully, if Nikki Haley decides to realize she has no pathway to the nomination in this race and will drop out. I don't know, genuinely.
So you don't know?
The president even knows. I think he's still thinking about it. Genuinely looking over all of the candidates. I will say this.
Yes.
He did tell Fox News' very own Brett Barrow yesterday that the most important quality for him is someone who he knows will make a great president after he's out of office. I think that's very important.
Okay, that's interesting. We're having Kari Lake on later in the show. Are you saying she is in the running?
I am saying everyone's in the running.
Everyone is in the running. I'm in the running.
You could be.
I can't take the pay cut. I heard a secret name. Kellyanne Conway just brought it to our attention. Marco Rubio for VP. Now, I hadn't even seen his name on a list anywhere, but then when I thought about it, I thought, that's interesting.
Well, I will say this. The Republican Party has a very deep bench. Marco Rubio endorsed the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, as well as Senator Rick Scott before Ron DeSantis even dropped out of this race, showing the power President Trump has from the great state of Florida. And tonight, here in New Hampshire, President Trump will be joined by Vivek Ramaswamy, Governor Doug Burgum, Senator Tim Scott, all members of Team Trump. So we'll have to see.
Are you hearing what we're hearing, that Tim Scott got engaged because he thought he might be tapped for VP? Is that true?
I think Tim Scott got engaged because he's a great man.
All right. He's in love. It's true love, everybody. Karoline, thank you.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.